Good morning, everybody. I lied. Yesterday wasn't the last video I'm doing until I get home. Had this loading in outside Dayton, Ohio, coming down here to Macon, Georgia. Luckily, the lady had called me and asked if I got loaded with no problem. I told her I did. So she actually said that I can park on their lot. This place, Premier Transport, anybody have ever seen them? They've got like the blue wave with the like red arrow or whatever on it. Red writing, something or another. Anyway, one side is a terminal, which basically has drop trailers in a little building. Then right next door is a transload dock, or crossover dock, whatever you want to call it. They put their trailers on the back side of the dock, and then us trucks come in, and we basically, we do the running, we do the miles on it, and then they come here, they unload it, and then their trucks pick it up and then deliver it to all the local areas around here. Okay. I ain't gonna complain, the load paid pretty decent, so let me see what it actually come up to be. Just so there was no mistake in the sense how I cannot see squat. Glasses time. Woo. To the truck, had 71 deadhead miles, 620 loaded miles, so the actual pay for all miles was $239. So, you know, actually, can't complain. You know, got everything in here. This is part of my program, of how my program actually keeps up with everything. You know, this is the company's rate, the gross pay. I get the 75%, so my pay is actually $16.50. So as you see here, you put in your, if I can find my mouse, put in where you emptied out at, your miles there, where you load at, your miles there, you're empty, and it tracks all this. So load of miles, and then you come over here, your pickups and drops. So your times, see I was in the Perina for couple hours, but I can't say anything. I always put notes in here. Same thing here, I'm here. Then your fuel stops. Thing I love about this program, you got, of course, the load ID is your trip number, whatever load number you're on. Got the date. If you're getting fuel or diff, you can check those boxes. The pre-miles was the last time I got fuel. This is the time mileage here, when I got fuel here. Truck stop here, if I click on that, basically what you do, you enter in the phone number, and then it automatically will pull up. It knows what it is, Petro, Knoxville, and of course what fuel card I'm using, my Fleet One card, how many gallons, the cost here, and then you click over here, and as you can see, I've got the fuel receipt scanned in, so you can track everything. And then here you can add more records and all this and that to it. And then you come over here, expenses. I don't have any expense on this load, but routes for tracking for IFTA. Every time I cross the state line, like this is the beginning mileage of my deadhead whenever I first unloaded, and then I left that ship or receiver to the next place. Then I track my mileage in every single state. Of course, enter your fuel in first. Like I got fuel in Tennessee. So I'll always leave, if I know where I'm getting fuel at, because I always plan my fuel stops. I know I'm getting fuel in Tennessee, so I won't, after I cross the state line here in Kentucky, I won't fill this in yet. I'll wait, because I know as soon as I put something in here, it's automatically going to put the mileage down here of where I entered at in the last state. So I'll leave this blank. Once I get my fuel entered in, then when I put in Tennessee, it automatically fills in how many gallons I've got for the IFTA. If not, if you don't put the fuel in first before you hit Tennessee here, like when I got fuel, then it's not going to put your fuel in here. So you'll have to manually come back and enter that in. Of course, you know, notes, you can put stuff in here. Then it'll give you a profit loss. Showing no expenses. My fuel was that. Total expenses. Profit per mile cost me 68 cents per mile to run it, $1.71. Total pay per loaded mile was $2.66. So then it breaks it all down here and gives you what your profit is after your fuel for that load. So this is a very good program. I still highly recommend it. It is Truckin Pro Fleet Manager, and it is give you here foglinesoftware.com. I highly recommend this for owner operators or even company drivers that want to keep track of their loads, because I will show you up here, like load ID. I go in here and I can find every single freaking load that I've ever freaking done in here. You know, like these loads here. These loads were good loads. 582 for, you know, Miami to Fort Lauderdale to Miami. That was back when I was making good money. But yeah, you can track all your loads, everything in here. Like if you know a freaking a load number, you can enter that in, type it in 872564 whatever, and then if that's, you know, if you know your load number, you can pull it up, enter it in there, and then it'll find that load number and then take you right to it. But of course, you know, that's not a load number because I just made it up. But yeah, this is a good program. Anyway, oops, wrong thing. Let's not do that. Anyway, as y'all can see, I'm here and we are still sitting here waiting to get unloaded. Been here for, well, I had a 9 o'clock appointment time, and since I parked next door, I waited till my 10-hour break was up, and then I come over here and I walked over, which is like 8:41, and served my paperwork, told him I had a 9 o'clock appointment. He said, go ahead, come on over here as soon as this last dock where I'm at now, as soon as the guy pulls out from here, just go ahead and back in. But of course, I mean, only one truck has left here since I've been here, so it's been, the guy is slow. But there's only one guy who's here unloading everything. He's transloading from all of us over the road trailers to their company's trailers, and then he has to, I guess, redo paperwork for their guys. And it's only one guy, and bless his heart, the guy looks like he's freaking between 70 and 80 years old, running the forklift and everything, and then having to swap out paperwork and all for their loads and all that. So bless his heart, I'll give it to him. But hey, the man's working. He's not sitting around collecting a check. He is actually working. You got to hand it to him. That's the thing about truck drivers. Truck drivers do work, y'all. We are a dying breed. Anyway, y'all, I just thought I'd give a quick shout out, show a little bit of the program here. I still highly recommend that to anybody, even company drivers. I'll show you a little bit of my setup here. You know, I don't have it turned on right now, but I have a 5G jetpack because I don't need to scan anything in. Of course, you know, I've got me a nice, good display. Of course, you can see I was jamming some music, The Hue, off YouTube. Of course, we have laser printer. And of course, we've got a 42 inch LED Samsung TV. So, but yeah, this laser printer here is actually nice. It's an all-in-one laser printer scanner, HP. And of course, I've got a gazillion cables here tied in because I have a 3 terabyte external hard drive attached to it. So everything backs up. I back up everything on that. I back up all my data files on Google Drive, so they're automatically backed up. And then of course, when I connect to the jetpack, everything backs up online. So if something ever crashes, the laptop crashes, a hard drive crashes, I've got it backed up on Google Drive. So, you know, to make things easy, you know, even company drivers, 'cause I know company drivers who don't track their loads. They don't keep track. They just turn their paperwork in. Whereas I will absolutely show you. Let's go to my previous load. Like, whew, gotta get some glasses on, y'all. I can't see. All right, like my previous load, you know, that one didn't pay as good, but the actual pay for all miles was $204. It was $231 a loaded mile. Pay $1,200, $204 for all miles to the truck. Of course, you know, I've got my pickups, what time I arrived, what time I departed, my mileage. Of course, fuel stops with the fuel receipt, you know, scanned in. Expenses, no expenses. Of course, I've got my IFTA routes in here. And I actually put notes. I haven't done that yet on this program I'm on right now, but I will before it's over, because I track my empty miles, how many deadhead miles I have, how many gallons I burnt, the miles per gallon I got, loaded, same thing. And I always put the weight in here. But of course, you know, you got your weight up here too. You can put your seal number. You can put weight. They didn't give me a seal on that one. But you got your weight here that you can put down. Load temperatures, load types, whatever. Like when I was pulling a hazmat tanker, I put a lot of the different chemicals in here. But here I just got box truck, or like if I'm running freaking paper or something, I will put like a paper load, paper rolls, stuff like that. But a lot of this stuff is based off me pulling a hazmat tanker, different types of chemicals, because different types of chemicals have different placards and things. So I want to kind of know, because some things can run through tunnels, some cannot run through tunnels. But then, you know, profit and loss. But then the thing also, why I have a laser printer, is because load documents down here. Of course, I've got my trip sheet, or my transflow sheet, bill of ladings, you know, scanned in. So you can scan all your bill of ladings in, and then all you have to do is come up here. You can open it up, whatever. Now you've got it, you know, in my Adobe, or like Adobe, but it's Phantom Fox thing. So, you know, you've got access to it. You can always add a new page if you want to add more documents, but I've got a sheet feed, so I'll try to put them all in the sheet feed, and then you can add documents, or if you've got something already scanned in a file, then you can just add another file, print it. You can email if you need to email it or fax it to a broker, or, you know, terminal, whatever. You can email it, or you can fax it. Just hit that and then send it on. So that is the one good thing about this program, y'all. But you can scan all your documents. So it pays to have all this, because as I was saying, some drivers don't track their loads. So they'll miss pay. You'll never know if you don't get paid for a load if you don't find some way to track it. Because, damn, let me break out my glasses again, because I need to show y'all this. If any of you can stay for this long in the video. Okay. Because on the program here, you've got reports. You come on here and you click view unpaid loads. See, this will tell me every load that I have not been paid for. Because when you go to reconcile your load sheets, like we'll click back, you see down here it says load paid and it says date. None. Well, I'm going to back my loads up. You see I haven't been paid for those loads yet. Well, now you see here where I have been paid. So you can check it off, load paid, and the date that you were actually paid for that load. So you can track when you've been paid for a load and when you have not been paid for a load. So this thing is actually nice, so you can track your stuff. Your unpaid loads, you can look at your revenue by date and all. You can put in a time frame. You can pull up your expenses by reports. Look at everything. But yeah, it's actually nice to be able to, I gotta enter in a date for all this mess. But yeah, it's nice to be able to track your load so you know when you've been paid, because, you know, sometimes when you get your settlement sheet, you can go back and you can check. Well, if you don't have that in there, or if you haven't been tracking your loads, you may not know that they didn't pay you for a load. Because there was a time before where they skipped a load. Well, it got delivered after midnight. Our cutoff is at midnight. Even though I got there at 5:40 in the afternoon, I didn't leave until 1:09. So that pushed it a whole nother pay period. Because it delivered it. I didn't leave with the paperwork until 1:09. It was that freaking Fogline distribution center. So that load got pushed by another whole freaking week. But, you know, something like this, a program like this where you can check off when you've actually been paid for it, that'll actually help you track it. And then you can say, hey, what about this? Or like if I'm gonna have, if I know I've been there, like which we're gonna bring this Virginia load up, that Fogline load that I spent so much time in. Let's look for that here. Like I can pull up here, I know it delivered in Dayton, Virginia, so I look for that. I could pull it up. as you can see here, I put detention time on here. Well, they paid me for the load, but they didn't pay me detention time. And on here, if you go to here, according to their detention rate, I should have had $139.50 in detention pay, because I put my appointment time, what time I got there, what time I left. But of course, it bases your detention time based on after your appointment time. And at their detention rate, this is how much I should have been paid in detention time, which actually sucks. But, you know, I did not get it. But since I had detention here, I knew I should have been paid detention. So when I got my settlement sheet and I didn't see my pay for my load matched this amount right here, it matched this. It didn't show any extra pay on it. So I'm like, wait a minute, what about detention pay? So if you don't have a way to actually track it, you won't know. So I really strongly suggest y'all, even company guys, you can get this program. Even if you don't scan your documents in, at least you can keep track of your stuff. Even if you take a picture with your phone, you can still import the picture, because it says on here you can load a file. You can either scan it or you could add from files. So you can take a picture of your phone, hook your phone up to your laptop, and then you can just pull the file right out of your phone into the program, because it actually says you can add a page or load a file or scan a picture or a document. So that's one way to do it, even without a printer or a scanner. Use your phone, take the picture of each page of your bill of ladings and things, and then just drag it straight from your phone into the program. So yeah, look at that, foglinesoftware.com, y'all. You will save yourself a bunch of headache. You can track all your stuff. You can print out the reports, give them to the freaking accountant at the end of the year, and you're good to go, y'all. Anyway, hope y'all have a good, blessed day, and peace out.